Well, Dev Patel first captivated audiences back in 2008 as the 18-year-old star of the Oscar-winning movie Slumdog Millionaire. Well, his latest film is called Lion. It's based on the true story of a man who was searching for his family 2 decades after he got lost on the streets of India. Take a look.
Any idea what it's like knowing my real brother and mother spent every day of their lives looking for me? Huh? How every day my real brother screams my name. Can you imagine the pain they must be in not knowing where I am? Huh? 25 years, Luce. 25!
Why didn't you tell me that was happening for you?
Dev Patel, good morning.
Good morning.
When you just read about the premise of this story, it grips your heart.
Yes.
And it's a true story. Tell people about Saru's story, your character.
Well, it's an incredible story about triumph, really. This young boy, it starts in tragedy. He's scavenging for food on a train with his older brother, and they get separated, and he's hurtled across the whole of India. And when he finally gets out, he's in a part of the country that he doesn't know. He can't speak the dialect. He doesn't even know his mother's name. He calls her Mum. He's so young. He's a 7-year-old kid. And he goes through a horrendous ordeal. It's kind of a tale of survival before he's adopted by an Australian family in Hobart, Tasmania. And 25 years later, he uses Google Earth to try and relocate his real mother.
It's one of these things where you're like, oh, that sounds like a Hollywood movie, except for that it really happened.
It actually happens.
And it's so fascinating because here his life turned out okay, and he ended up with a wonderful family, but the ties that bind and the search for your mom and your brother is really what this is about. Yeah,
it's really an anthem of love and unity, and it's a story about how love can transcend continents. You know, there's these 2 beautiful female characters, one played by Nicole Kidman, who plays the Australian mother, and one played by Priyanka Bose, who's the Indian mother, and this kind of boy who will stop at nothing to connect the 2.
Nicole Kidman said that she felt like this was a love letter to her kids. And I think I read you said it was kind of a love letter to your own mom. I mean, it is a mother-child story.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I read the script and I was a complete puddle of tears, and it's just so moving. And
I heard you showed up at the writer's house like, hey, I'm available.
I did. They hadn't even finished writing the first act, and I knocked on their door, and there was a big whiteboard with all these kind of story beats on there. And it was classified information at that time. But, you know, we're here now. So.
And I know when you got the role, you really poured yourself into it. Like 8 months of prep. What did that entail?
Well, you know, scripts like this don't come around every so often for someone that looks like I do, you know. And to be able to play a role with so much meat on the bone, I called my manager up and I said the next 8 months I want to commit every fiber of my being to getting this journey right. So there's a lot of physical training. I ate like a glutton, dialect coaching to get this
you had to get the Australian accent.
Yeah. I traveled on the trains, wrote diaries, visited orphanages, the whole thing.
Well, there's a lot of Oscar buzz. I just mentioned that. I don't know what you're supposed here, awkward, like looking, but you are getting so much critical raves for this role. And you met the real Saru. What was that like?
I did. He's such a beautiful human. The whole family is, his mother, his father, John. They're just so open and generous, and he is the epitome of a fiercely driven young man. And it's a very inspiring story and what the world needs right now.
And to get to tell that story. How cool. Dev Patel, the movie is Lion. It is getting wonderful reviews, and you in particular, so best of luck to you. It opens in select theaters on November 25th, nationwide on Christmas Day.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.